What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to run into tonight's plays, or recap, and then tomorrow's plays. And for yesterday, we did finish up 7 units, like I thought we would. The Nuggets came through for us, and well, we were up 8 units at the time. Got the Nuggets, putting us up 9, but we missed the leg 2 Mariners Rockies over 10.5, putting us up 7. So we came in today up 4.2 on the week. I guess fitting, right? Fitting number, and doing well since inception. And we had a good day today. Actually, as far as hit rate, we had a horrible day today, but again, I just kind of played the system. And Mariners Rockies, it just seemed like a lock. So leg 3, we played for 4 units to go over 10.5, and they scored like 3 runs. And then they set it at 10.5 again for the second game of the doubleheader. It just seemed like everyone was going to be all over that under. And, they scored 7 runs yesterday at 10.5. Today it's at 10.5 for the first game, and they scored, 3 runs, I think it was again. Might have been like 5, 3-2, something like that. So going way under the line, and then they keep it at 10.5. Really made me think it was a good play. That's the only reason I made this a leg for 8 units. It was only if we missed, as you can see, as I went into yesterday on here. So we got that one. So that's basically what determined our day. So anyway, up a unit from the Angels going under, back to even because the Nationals did not go over. Down 4 units because we missed the leg 3 on the Mariners. Up 4 units because we got the 8-unit play. And they made us sweat on this one. They were 6-2 in the second inning. I checked back in the 6th, and it was still 6-2. But then they got like a home run and a couple more runs. And it's 9-2 right now with 2 innings to go. So they went over, but much later than I thought. And that's why I didn't start the episode. I didn't start the videos sooner, because I see things like that a lot where they'll just pump the brakes, and there'll be times it looks like it's flying over or definitely under, and you get the opposite. But luckily, they were able to get just enough, like I said, to put us over. So we're up 4 units there. Up 3 units because Heat did not win. We did horrible in the NBA today. 2 units because the Mavs lost. 1 unit because the Pacers lost. So with the Pelicans in play, they're looking pretty good. They're up a few points, and we're getting 8.5. I think we'll finish today up 2 units, which will put us up 6.2 on the week. But there's a chance we lose the Pels, and we'll be at 0 on the day, which again, the Rockies Mariners really just bailed us out. And we'll finish the week 4.2. So we'll see which one we get. Either way, it's a good week. I'm hoping we can get the 6.2. It's a little more, a little better. I like anything over 5 units. I consider a pretty good day or a pretty good week. So yeah, like I said, baseball in a rare, not rare I would say, but it's not as high hit rate as basketball, but baseball coming through for the clutch leg 4. So yeah, again, I just feel like that this doubleheader made no sense for the second one to be 10.5, and they usually keep them the same, the run line, especially when they've been the same like the whole series. But for it to be that high, even in Coors Field, when they barely got 10.5 the 2 games prior, just made no sense to me. So anyway, horrible day in the NBA, but again, picking all 7 games in the series, I'm not sure exactly which way they're going to swing. I try and just look at the lines. I wasn't aware Kawhi was out, I'll be honest. That makes sense as to why the Mavs were favorites. They're very sneaky with those injuries. But yeah, hopefully the Pelicans come through and we'll finish the day well. I'm just going to throw this because they're trying to do separate videos so I can go into the NBA more specifically. But tonight we only have 3 games tomorrow, so I'm just going to throw this on YouTube as well for the people that want to know about basketball. But I figured I would cover this part first because everyone that's tailing on here, every night, as you know, we always do our recap and we go into tomorrow's plays. So anyway, tomorrow we got the Orioles Angels under 8.5. That's 2 units. And that's being played for the Astros Nationals loss here. So, or not the loss, but they didn't go over, so that's a leg 1 loss for 1 unit. So I'm making, because we have new matchups now, I'm making the Orioles Angels for 2 units, under 8.5. Cardinals D-backs, they go over pretty frequently, so I got them going. I'm sorry, under pretty frequently, so I got them going over 8.5 for 1 unit. Public should be on the under. Same with the Yankees A's. Public should be on the under, so I got them going over for 1 unit, 8.5. Got the Marlins winning. Almost took the alt line, but thought, you know what, plus 180 is good enough. If they get the win, that's great. So 1 unit there. Got them beating the Braves. And Magic Cavs, if you remember, I went into last time these two teams played. It was my favorite matchup was the Magic Cavs under. It just seemed like such a trap, 207. Now it's even lower. Now we had an incredibly low-scoring game 1, but I still think the public's going to look at this, think modern-day NBA, it's going over 200. Again, this is a line from like 20 years ago, so still looks like a trap, even though it makes sense because they just put up a very low total. I feel like they might even do something with this series where they go X amount of games without a team getting to 100 points or something to really push how defense is being emphasized, because everyone's complaining about no defense. So anyway, I got that under 202.5 for 2 units. I got the Sixers winning, and if you don't know, I have the Sixers winning the series. So we're down 1-0 there. It's like plus 200 for them to win the series, 225, something like that. Embiid is shaky, and basically the same line from game 1. So that's why this is a leg 2, because we lost the first game. We took the Sixers to win as a leg 1. They didn't. Now we have them winning as a leg 2. If they lose, we'll be taking them in game 3 as a leg 3. I think they'll get it done here, split it up in the Garden, and more people should definitely be on the Knicks. So I'm liking this one a lot. Got the Lakers covering the Nuggets. And in that series, I have the Nuggets winning. I think they're going to win the game, but I think it's going to be a win-no cover this time. I don't see many people on the Lakers outside of the money line here. So I feel like, if you're going to pick them, they're probably going to pick them for the value. As far as the cover, I think people Nuggets are very consistent at home. I think they continue the winning streak, which will put them at 10 games, I think, dating back to last year. But I think it'll be like a 5-point game. So I got the Lakers covering that for 1 unit. And then one tennis play, Medjedovic. I got him beating Hugo Gaston because this guy's like 20. He's very up and coming. And he's playing 10th ranked Gaston. Medjedovic is not even ranked. So again, with tennis, that's basically all I do. If there's a guy I know versus a guy I don't know, and the guy's ranked and the other guy's not ranked, and it's a pick'em, I'm usually going to fade the guy that should win. So we're fading Gaston here for 4 units. So not a ton of plays, but a decent bit of units in play. Couple plus odds that can come through for us. That would be nice. And yeah, some just stick out to me. Like I said, the Sixers kind of sticks out because they didn't look great in that first game, and Embiid looked like he might be going back on the injury reserve after that game. So it does make me wonder why the Knicks aren't slightly bigger favorites. I have a good feeling this game is going to be back and forth. That first game was like watching a wrestling event. Again, we were getting fuck Embiid chants. We were getting all sorts of crazy chants. We literally had two guys, it was Mitchell Robinson and Embiid, I think it was, wrestling each other to the ground for a jump ball towards the end of the game. Then you had Hart going nuts. I mean, the place was just going bonkers. So I feel like going back and forth makes a little more sense. And I really think the Sixers are going to win this series. And obviously going down 2-0, even though it's on the road, still, I feel like makes them pretty big dogs to win the series. And I just think they're going to win it because then they match up with the Bucks, which is what, the doc versus the nurse. I think it's too good not to write. I can already see them making little puns about that. But honestly, what we're seeing with the Bucks is a little bit of malpractice, if you ask me. Just how inconsistent the team is. We missed them today. We faded them, and they actually looked pretty good to their credit. But they're so ridiculous as far as teams looking amazing one week and just like garbage the next. Them and the Celtics both, which is why I think they're going to be the teams to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, because nobody believes in either of those teams, I would say. So everyone's probably jumping on the Knicks, jumping on other teams, and looking at the Bucks and looking at Doc and looking at the Celtics and looking at Tatum, basically just waiting for them to choke it away. So that's kind of been my logic all year with Celtics, Bucks, and Doc, of course, has been a big role in that. And now with Doc on the Bucks, because at the beginning of the year he wasn't even on the team. Now with him on the Bucks, I think it makes perfect sense he plays the Sixers next round. So Knicks are a hot team. I mean, knocking them out early is kind of unfortunate, I guess, for the fan base, but I think that's what happens. I think they get knocked out early. Stephen A. Smith can go on one of his diatribes, and we would get Doc versus Nurse in the next round. And then for the West, like I said, nothing crazy. I think the Nuggets are going to advance, and I think you guys know who I have advancing for the rest: Thunder, Suns, and who's the fourth one? I'm trying to think who it is. Nuggets, Thunder, Suns, and Clippers. I got Clippers beating the Mavs, even though we had the Mavs winning today. Like I said, the only team that makes sense, in my opinion, to go to the finals for the West is the Clippers, and I've gone into that for a while. Their odds just don't make sense. Everyone's going to be all over the Mavs, especially after that first game. And after that first game, even despite losing on the road, it's 50-50, which is kind of weird. It's like I get that obviously they compare it to tennis, like holding serve. So the Clippers winning at home isn't anything crazy, but still being up a game, and Vegas has it 50-50. I feel like it's probably just looks like a trap, but I think it's going to be one where it goes back and forth for a while, and I think we're getting 7 games. So the Mavs could do it, sure. Like I said, some of the lines might suggest it, but just the fact that they're such big dogs they're like, I think they're the fourth favorite to win the West. So I feel like people are going to be all over the Mavs, whereas the Clippers were plus 300. They're probably even better now because they just won today. So yeah, the reason for all the teams that I have is basically the narrative and then the traps. And as I went into before, the Clippers win, then they play the Thunder. So you got Harden and Westbrook versus their old teams. Westbrook is suddenly looking good again. Isn't that funny? You know, the media convinces everybody he's garbage for the longest time, and now all of a sudden he's doing alley-oops, backdoor dunks, hitting clutch shots, great assists, getting steals, all that stuff. So we're starting to see Russ look like he did 10 years ago. I don't think it's a coincidence. Harden's looking good again. It really feels like it's the Clippers' year. So, yeah, not much has changed there, as I've gone into multiple times. And same thing with the Suns. I think they're going to wind up getting it done, even though they got blown out in the first game. So a few I have winning despite them losing the first game. Nothing's changing just because one game, Sixers, Suns. And then others won the first game, and I think they're going to wind up holding it, like the Clippers. So we'll see what happens. Oh, yeah, and for Magic, Cavs, I think the Cavs are going to be the ones to advance. I just think that the Magic are too boring. So on that side, I do like the Cavs to advance. And I think they're the two most boring teams in the entire conference that are playing, at least right now. So the winner is going to get immediately bumped into the next round. That's just kind of what I think happens. So yeah, I think like I said, tomorrow Nuggets win again, but I think they won't cover it. Probably get like a 5-point game. Maybe we get overtime. Liking the Sixers a lot. I think the public's going to be on the Knicks. And then the only other basketball game is the Magic. I'm just playing the under there. I would lean Magic cover this time. They might even get the upset. But I'm just not playing that one. I think the Cavs are going to win the series. And I like the over-under a lot better. So hopefully we have a good day. And yeah, we got Gaston losing. So if we get that one, that's obviously the biggest play we have. Hopefully we come and have a nice day tomorrow. I think we'll, at the very least, we usually don't do bad in basketball multiple days in a row. So today we're probably finishing 1-3 in the NBA. So I think tomorrow we win at least 2 of the 3 games. And baseball's been doing pretty good for us, which is always nice. So that's about it. Like I said, I wanted to get I'll have to put a poll out because that way I can just see what time's best. I'd love to cover one of these Clippers games or one of these Lakers games. Maybe Knicks, Sixers, one of the games in the series. So we'll be doing some lives going forward. And I'll set up a poll to see what time or what game you guys would most like to do. And we can have some fun there. And it's good that, we had 2 negative weeks in a row after 12 out of 13 positive weeks, which was a really nice run we had. And then the last 2 weeks were negative. Last week was only minus 1.8, but it was still a negative week. So today to get back into the positive for the week is nice. Hopefully we can start another streak. And yeah, it's looking like we're going to be right around 125 units since inception, depending on how the Pelicans finish out. So take care and happy earnings.